All right, welcome back. Here we go. 15 games. We're going to go rapid fire, the entire slate. I got you. With that said, I need you to help me out. Now, you're going to be asked to do all the typical YouTube stuff here, right? You're watching on Twitter. It's the same scenario, really, right? Thumbs up, subscribe, following, all that great stuff. Share if you can. That's huge. We appreciate you. We're on our way to 100K. All right. Now, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm at least going to put picks up as I speak so you can see right away where we begin on the early game. This guy's taking forever. Da, da, da. The BetMGM is in effect. All right. Everything here, 21 or older gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'm not going to show you another slide of my face. You're already going to see enough of it in this video. So we move on. I'm just showing you, though, you have a QR code as well as the 2 free months in the Discord. We'll get to the Discord in a second because it's smashing. And yes, in your 2 free months, you will have full access to Eric Lindquist. We promise. We promise. That you can hold me to. All right, here we go. First play on the board. Look at this. First bet, by the way, at BetMGM is up to 1,000. Can be $10 up to $1,000. You could put $100 on all of these that we have and make over $2 million if you'd like. Now that's on me to hit every play, but you can go slow. We've done this before where I've stopped after 5 plays and the first 5 hit, and somebody was able to take home a lot of money on their first play here. First play for us is over 8.5 runs. We're counting on Detroit getting 2, maybe 3 runs off Musgrove / San Diego. And on the surface, you're not going to see a lot of wiggle room here for Detroit. And that's just normal. Like, we get that. But Detroit isn't, Kansas City bad. Detroit isn't horrific. They're just not a great baseball team, but they're hanging. 10 games under 500 is good for Detroit here. The reality, though, is this series has been difficult for them. San Diego can explode. 9 is not that high of a number if we can get 2 runs as a baseline from Detroit, which I think we can, and the rest is just San Diego teeing off Fado, and we're in good spot right here, at least to open things up with this earlier game, which I know a lot of times, like 11 Eastern, we trend under. But in this case, this is a normal baseball game on Sunday. No issue there with the timing. And we go over 8.5. Next up, Yankees, Royals. Now, Kansas City is Kansas City bad, and nobody's hiding that one. Jordan Lyles is on the mound taking on a Yankees team that just isn't great, but there is a significant difference, right, between where Kansas City is right now versus where the New York Yankees are. And I don't mean just as far as in the division, because that you can see is way different just in division. But overall, like, Kansas City's got 28 wins. And Jordan Lyles is still not a good pitcher. The Yankees are just difficult right now to figure out as a whole. Going up against a better team, you probably don't give them much benefit of the doubt. But again, at home against Kansas City, Jordan Lyles with a 16.8 K percentage. Not much as well, 470 X slugging, 336 X WOBA. I get it that Luis Severino is not good either on the other side. High scoring game. Lyles gets pulled probably like early mid innings. Yeah, I don't see him making it past 5. Will definitely go under 4.5 Ks and minus 155. Shop that if you can, but I think this is the best play. Oh, it's dropping minus 150. Beautiful. I'll take it. Next up, San Fran on the money line. Look, I don't know if you believe the Giants are about to get swept in Washington. I don't. I know that we're still waiting specifically for the pitcher, but at least at the time in which we're doing this, Mackenzie Gore, 27.5 K rate. It's going to be tough, I think, for San Fran to really get at him. Look, bullpen start, back end, what have you. I still think San Francisco finds a way. Even if it's down, not by a lot, but coming back. I don't think they get Cade out of the building by any means. You have a couple of guys that are concerning. I understand that, but there are some home runs here as well. It's just amazing that we're at this point. And to be fair to Washington, they're the only team in their division that's winning games right now. I know Atlanta lost one, but still, I mean, that's the equivalent of what Philly and Miami are going through, all in one game. Giants on the money line will take it. All right, I told you about the Discord, right? Right. Look at this. Last couple of days in picture form on the Odd Shopper Discord. This is all the Discord here. All right. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because you get 2 free months. Man, remember we had to wait. We had to wait for this one. We had to wait a full freaking day because of that flooding up in Fenway. So that finally cashed. It was a sweat, but that finally cashed. We're doing things. Taj Bradley, we're going to get to him in a minute. We're not going that way. We're going the other. I'm sorry. But this is what we're doing here. And cashing tickets is great. It's fun. But having you there is even more fun. Really. And you get access to Eric Lindquist. Don't worry. Yes, you get access to I mean, it's insane. Do we? Yeah. Where's Lindy? Don't worry. Don't worry. All right. I just want to make sure you're okay. Are we good? We're good. Okay. Oh, you jumped too far. Pace yourself. Arizona at Cincinnati. Luke Weaver is charged with slowing down Arizona. The 18.469 K to walk rate. Look, Jose Ruiz on the other side is brutal. 19 to 10.6 K to walk rate. 257 x batting. 343 x WOBA. The thing with Jose Ruiz is now you go up against a team in Cincinnati at home with Ellie. We've seen this team with the lineup change, even a guy like India taking advantage of that. This has runs for days. And the thing is, even if it's a slow start, there should be an eruption at some point, mainly because both pitchers are so bad that there are going to be mistakes. There are going to be opportunities just offered up. So I'd take that minus 105 and go over 11. Pushes in play, which is fantastic, but go over 11 at the very least. That there are going to be some great chances for both teams with these guys just being so bad. Philadelphia is about to lose their 5th straight. Look, we are taking the Guardians at 1.5, and I think that's why you do it. The Phillies, disappointing to lose a start like that from Zach Wheeler, but at the same time, you look at how bad it's been for Miami. We'll talk about them coming up, but teams have struggled out of the break, and we just saw that again where you don't put up a run. You get shut out. 2 hit combined. Here comes the Bibbs, and he made a fool out of us, right? Although Zach Wheeler pitched great, 8 Ks and all. Just Guardians. Aaron Nola relies not solely, but this is going to sound contradictory. With his K rate dipping a little this year, he's actually relied more on it as an out because it's been difficult at times for Aaron Nola. He's been inconsistent. And when he's been bad in the inconsistency, it's been bad. Cleveland doesn't have many Ks. This is a tough matchup. And the Phillies just don't explode and bounce back. They can go quiet for a day or two. I don't think they get shut out, but I'm willing under minus 140, 145. I'm willing to take a 1.5 in what should be another close game and give Cleveland the benefit of the doubt at home with limited strikeouts in that lineup against Aaron Nola. Sign me up. Next up, here's Miami. This is where it gets tough. This is where it gets really tough for the Miami Marlins. You cannot lose 9 straight, including getting blown out of the building by what could be a 40-win Rocky team. Like all of a sudden you're giving life, which is not really much, but you're still going to be 17 back depending on what happens with the Dodgers. But seriously, this is crazy, man. Crazy that Miami has just fallen like this. Probably some home run plays in here for Miami on one side of it, but ultimately this thing falls short of 8. You're going to get some runs from the Marlins. It's not like it's going to be 1-0. And even still, somebody's got to score. Soler, probably. Home run. 3 total bases. Jesus Luzardo, pardon me, is the guy that we're going to target here. Ty Blatch just hasn't given us much, and to him, that's a good thing. We don't want to go into for his sake. We don't want to go into that. 28-3, 6.5K to walk rate, 227 x batting average. This is where I think things stop for Miami. And the best way, I think, to cover our rear would be to do it by taking the under. Like, Miami just doesn't explode. I know we saw this earlier in this series, but I don't think it happens again. So let's stop the insanity. Is that trademarked? I think so, by that woman, right? Okay. Just, I don't want to get us in trouble. I think it's trademarked on YouTube, too. We have to check that. Under 8 here. Luzardo's going to do his thing. Miami, I don't think, is good enough right now to explode on anybody, so I'll give him about 4 runs. This is 5-1, 5-2 at most, something along those lines, and it's probably not even going to be at the hands of Luzardo. Rockies get a couple sympathy runs. They cross the plate. We go home happy. Here's Taj Bradley. Now, shop this, okay? Because the play is actually under 6.5 Ks, and I found it for you here under 6.5 Ks at PointsBet. All right. So, yes, this whole thing with BetMGM is there for you. It's fantastic. Your first bet's back in bonus bets up to 1,000. Doesn't have to be. It could be $10, $20, $100, $50, whatever. I'm showing you all these plays here. $100. I mean, imagine if you put a $10 parlay. That's over $215,000. Whatever it may be. All I'm saying is this. Make sure you shop. Because I'm going under 6.5 Ks for Taj Bradley. On the screen, I'm just showing you the 5.5 because it's on BetMGM, but this is going to be tough. Baltimore not offering up the Ks as we're used to, and at least for Bradley. I just don't think Bradley extrapolates the Ks from Baltimore despite being at home in a comfortable spot with the O's on the road here. This is probably going to be a Baltimore win, but Bradley's good enough where he can get out. People are going to look at this. Oh, my God, the 30.5 K rate, like everything that Bradley's done. He's great when it comes to striking people out, but not in this game, not against Baltimore. And at plus 120 at under 5.5, that's fantastic. But at under 6.5, that's where it starts to make some sense. That's why we jumped in. Don't push it just because you see, oh, man, well, this one's at plus. No. Don't you do that. You have a better number for an under. I showed it to you. I went behind the paywall here at the Odd Shopper Premium. All right. You've got links below for that. 70% off. Can we show that to them since I am giving it to them, right? All right. Here we go. 70% off your first month. Not bad. All right. We got to keep this thing moving. Holy smokes. What are we doing taking our time like this? Why are we so slow tonight? Keep it moving. Brewers beating the Braves. The Brewers, again, man, they come off hot. They handle the Philadelphia Phillies. They handle the Atlanta Braves. And now they're going to do it again. Are we really going back to this well here? And it's not our well. It's anybody who picked. Julio Teheran is in an interesting spot here. The 17 to 5.5. I'm a little generous with some numbers. But, Bryce Elder now becomes hittable, super hittable. This has been a rough This has been a rough patch for Bryce Elder. It's one of the few spots you can look at with the Braves and say, that's not really good. And 256 x batting average, the EV at 90, hard hit percentage is 42.2. Loud contact. And it's happening often. And he's not striking people out at 18.6. Bryce Elder gives up an early lead. The Brewers play with a lead. It's now on a team like Atlanta to keep forcing that comeback on the road. And it's tough. It's just difficult to do. And we don't want to count on that to happening. YRFI alert. Look at this, man. We go all over the place. YRFI alert. Give me it. White Sox in Minnesota. Bailey Ober is on the hill. He'll be less likely, I think, to be victimized than Lucas Giolito, but both are in prime suspect mode here. Bailey Ober is limiting walks, and that's definitely fantastic. And that's valuable in a first inning play. K's kind of not there. It's going to be tough, I think, for Chicago to do much. Ober's not pitching like ace dominant level, but he's still pitching well enough to where you don't really want to let him set in. So I can expect Chicago to be a little more aggressive. And also, Giolito's bad. I get it. He can strike people out, but other than that, he's pretty rough around the edge. And that's where a team like Minnesota, first inning Jack. Think so. It's a Jack alert. Cubs. I know you saw that LA thing. Don't worry. Chicago in a pretty good spot here, I think, as the home dog. I know a lot of love is going to be on St. Louis because of Taillon. If you look at Jordan Montgomery, he's going for St. Louis, right? Last time in Wrigley, May 10th, Chicago just waxed him. Not necessarily a good sign or indication on a team that has been much worse. And look, still in this mode here, I don't care what you say, 44-55 heading into it. They're about to lose this series. Come on. I think we look at it from the standpoint of the pitching matchup as well as just how difficult it's going to be to come back and erase that bad memory. Yes, we are taking the Dodgers on the money line. Yes, we suggest you do the same. Yes. Why? Well, because we like LA. That's why. That should be good enough for you. If I just said, no. Because I'm tired of fading Ed Sheeran. That's why. Every time we fade Ed Sheeran, we get crapped on. Because Emmett Sheehan, or whatever the hell he likes to call himself, happens to come out, pitch pretty well, and we lose bets. Also, the guy on the other side, Martin Perez, not good. 14.5 K rate to an 8.5 walk rate. Walks are okay, but look, 293 x batting average. Holy smokes. The WOBA is just 361 x WOBA. Game plans are working against Martin Perez. And it's not going well for this Texas Rangers pitcher. I don't think it will either. This lineup that he faces is menacing. And again, we have gone against Emmett. And damn it, if we do it again, it ain't going to be me. It's going to be you out there fading my pick, which is fine. You should leave a comment below about how often you fade me. Man, I fade this dude every single day I see him. He's on 7-8 days a week. My God. Love it. You let us know because the bosses are watching. So if you want to remind people about my record, you want to remind people about how good, how bad things are, the comments are open. There is not a bad thing you can say. We go over 9. Pittsburgh at LA. Over 9 here. A lot of offense expected for us. Big thing is, what can we get from Pittsburgh? Sorry, I don't know why that exhale sounded like so laborious, but it's not. We only have a couple left, I promise. Big thing is, how much can we get from Pittsburgh? Mitch Keller on the hill, that's not going to be easy for LA, but they're at home. And the big question is, how fast can the Angels, Shohei or anyone else, get to Mitch Keller? Open up those floodgates. You'll see a difference. Tyler Anderson, 18.5 to 10 K to walk rate. Anderson is a human run. He's a human earned run, and we'll take it. All right, final 2 here before we get to Sunday night, which is not on. A's first 5 in this game. Houston has very little interest in winning this series. That's fine with us. We're going to take advantage of it. Oakland, on the other hand, and this is probably where we are right now. Oakland comes off a win, as rare as those may be, 3 in their last 10. They tonight have a pretty, I don't want to use interesting because it's not really like interesting, but maybe more favorable than it looks. Houston is just asleep at the wheel. Hunter Brown, we like his under Ks. It's going to correlate for a guy who relies so much on that to not strike everybody out in Oakland. Luis Medina is this is not going to be easy for us to win this bet, but that's why it's at plus 175. And I'm not taking a run line first five. I'm taking them to win it. I think based off what you saw last night, they come out a little hot. They come out a little geeked up, if you will. Houston's just so much better. Ultimately, they don't lose. I don't think they lose the game, but I'm not about to paint a first five full game, same game parlay here for you. Last play before we hit Sunday night, Seattle minus 1.5. Just like them on the big board, folks. At home, laying a half run, 1.5 runs. I'm sorry. Toronto is a good baseball team, but I'm not buying Alek Manoah yet, nor should you. Especially when Brian Wu is pitching. Come on. That's it. Brian Wu, Alek Manoah, pardon me. That's what we're doing. That's the difference. All right. All right. On the way out. No, give me that back one more time. All right. On the way out. Here we go. Sunday night baseball. Okay. So one thing to think about here, it's a little bit of a lean, if you will, because we don't have our odds up on MGM or elsewhere yet. But I know this series has been weird because of the suspension. Then you come back, and again last night you saw Red Sox get that later game. Carlos Carrasco on the hill is a guy that I think we should target. We should collectively target here. So I would lean, because it's in Fenway and the visiting pitcher is atrocious. I would lean over. Let's see what this number is. You let me know what you think, by all means. Maybe even Bernardino, K prop there. But I would lean over, and B squared probably go over his Ks. At Shander shows how you get me on Twitter. Again, I got you on BetMGM. One more time. It's all here. 2 free months on the Discord. You get to chill with all of us for 2 free months.